Why, hello there, everyone. Summer Game Fest literally just ended like a couple of minutes ago. As of recording this video, Summer Game Fest literally just ended, and I was actually in the middle of turning all these lights off and getting ready to eat, and I was going to go through the footage and highlight my favorite live reactions like I normally do, but then I noticed that Bushiroad uploaded a new trailer for Hunter x Hunter NENxIMPACT. So I decided to turn all the lights back on and record a reaction/analysis video because, as you can see, this one is for none other than Biscuit Krueger, or Bisky, and we have not seen any footage of her at all in this game before today. In fact, she wasn't even revealed, even though I knew she had pretty much a guaranteed chance of getting into the game. But I'm really curious how she's going to play, if she's going to be able to switch between her normal form and the buff form. And also, before we watch and start analyzing, I just want to say, she looks really good. I know people keep critiquing how this game looks. I think it looks good enough, in my opinion, because all of the characters look exactly like the characters, right? You can tell immediately this is Biscuit Krueger, and she looks exactly as she does in the show. If you want to see a bad-looking fighting game, I would point to Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite, because in that case, in Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite, the characters literally do not look like the characters that they are supposed to be, right? Like, Ryu's face does not look like Ryu. Dante's face does not look like Dante, right? Whereas this is obviously Biscuit Krueger. But I want to say, not only does she look good, but I'm also glad that they went with the single ponytail hair, because I was kind of worried they were going to go for more of the twin tail look, because that's the default look, because that's how you see her when you first see her in the show. And I was just assuming that they're going to always use default looks for all of these characters, right? So I thought, oh, that's a little lame that they'll use the default look, because I prefer the single ponytail. But then I started thinking, no, wait, actually, they might end up going with the single tail instead of the twin tails, because if you think about the medium here, it's a fighting game. It's a 2D fighting game. And when you're playing a fighting game and you have these characters looking at each other, most of the time when you are seeing their heads, you're looking at the profile view of the heads, right? Because these two characters are facing each other. And so it made me realize, oh, they're probably actually going to have a decent chance of going with the single-tailed hair, because that's going to read much better from a profile view than the twin tails. Because if you have the twin tails and they were looking to the side, you'd have one going towards the camera and one going away from the camera, and it wouldn't read very well from the silhouette, right? So let's see. I'm super excited. Very high likelihood of playing her on my team. Okay, this, I don't think that's a universal mechanic. That seems to be some kind of parry. The video is 60 FPS. I'm not sure if the actual footage we're seeing is 60, though. I don't think this is a universal mechanic, because they've already explained all of the mechanics of this game, right? So I think this might be a Biscuit-specific thing. Does it lead to an actual... Yeah, it leads to an actual hit on Gon. At least it launches him before she counterattacks with this, so it must be some kind of counter. I don't think it's a parry. I think it's an actual counter stance, because you can see for a few frames that she's having to kind of commit to this stance here with this shield in front of her, so I think that's a counter. Okay. Pretty standard rushdown stuff so far. But we know she's not going to be super gimmicky. Okay, here it is. It looks like an install. So I think in her case, it might be an install, unlike Gon. I want to see this animation right here. You can see the silhouette for a second. See that? That's funny. And I'm trying to pay attention to see if these are the same moves we saw already, because she could have the same exact moveset. In fact, I think it would make a lot more sense for her to have the same moveset, but just with extended hitboxes, right? With her limbs being longer. These look like the same moves to me. I don't, for the sake of this video's length, I'm not going to go back and check every one of the normals and command normals and then cross-examine them with her normals and command normals in this form. I'm just going to assume those are the same moves because they look pretty much the same, right? So this must be a super that she can only do while she's in this install, right? Because of that pose. This is a, this keyframe is a pose from the manga, which she does when she's in this form. So I don't think that they would let, I don't think they would let her do that in her, I was gonna say normal form, but this is her normal form, right? I don't know what to call her other form, the lolly form. I don't think they would have her animate like this in lolly form. So this must be a super that you can only get in a buff form. So I was really curious if we were going to get Cookie at all, the masseuse, because even though it doesn't have any direct combat abilities, it could potentially show up as some kind of support thing, right? You could call in Cookie and have it heal you or something, because again, this is being made by Aiding, and Aiding made Tatsunoko vs. Capcom, and Roll in that game has a super in which she heals. And you can use it to DHC into another character, and then they get the heal, right? So you could call in Cookie, the masseuse, and then DHC into another character, and then maybe the masseuse could work on the person that you DHC in, right? They could definitely do something like that, and it's still possible, but considering they didn't show it in this trailer, I feel like it's not here, just because that would have definitely been something to put in the trailer if it were up to me. But again, this game has a really low budget, and it's not like you need Cookie in here. But I'm really glad that her transformation is an install. I was a little worried that it might just be a super after seeing Gon's adult form was just part of the super cinematic, or at least that's what we think based on the footage that we've seen from Evo Japan. But expectedly so, she seems like a very no-nonsense kind of rushdown character. No real gimmicks, right? She just beats you up. And when she goes into buff form, it looks as if her hitboxes get even bigger, which I was wanting. So a character like this, I could see being kind of low tier in a game with as much grime as a game like this, right? Because we already see that this game has a ton of grime, which we were expecting. So when you have a character that just kind of punches and kicks with no real gimmick, I'm wondering if she's going to have a hard time keeping up. But I really like characters that are all about the martial arts instead of all these crazy gimmicks, right? So right now I'm thinking my team is going to be Netero and Biscuit. I wasn't initially thinking about playing Gon at first, but since finding out that Gon's Jajanken Rock Super is unblockable, that makes me tempted to try Gon because of maybe attempting to try some unblockable setups on incoming or something, because I've been playing Tatsunoko vs. Capcom lately, and that game has a lot of unblockable setups you can do on incoming characters. So I think right now my tentative team is Netero, Biscuit, Gon, but of course we're going to have to see how all these characters synergize with each other. But at the very least, I'm playing Netero, and I'm going to try Biscuit out. So let me know what you think about Biscuit Krueger in Hunter x Hunter NENxIMPACT in the comments, and let me know if I missed anything, and thanks for watching, and I will see all of you guys later, so bye for now.